the way to start enjoying music fast, if you're trying to learn an instrument and not get discouraged, is to first grasp the bigger concept and then focus on the details of how to actually play on the technique. And don't just think of it as a technical exercise. So at first, of course, you need to get the technique down, and if you don't, you're never going to get the sound right. But get the technique get the technique right to a point that you can then move to thinking in a deeper dimension about what you're doing. So let's say I'm playing this chord. This is a G chord. At first, I'm just practicing playing it right, but after that, I start, okay, so how does this chord make you feel? This is a happy, positive chord usually, like a G major chord. And then, how does it relate to the next chord coming in? And that will help you get even pick up songs by ear and be able to play them. So this is a C major chord, and this is more of it has a bit of a hopeful feeling with it. So this is a happy kind of grounding chord. This is a little bit more hopeful one. And then this sets a bit of a tension. Something's going to happen after that, right? Like you feel like this hasn't ended yet. And then you have a more dramatic, more, a sadder, we call these the minor chords. Some chords make you feel uneasy, like something, like something's off, something's about to happen. So try to think about things like that. That'll help you memorize things and also will help you enjoy what you're playing and playing it more intuitively eventually. Also, don't just kind of read a sheet or a chord and try to play it, but think about how does it feel, right? Our fingertips are some of the most sensitive areas of the body, so that even if you're not looking at it, how does this chord feel in your hand? And that will help your body remember it. So it's motor, the technique, how it feels, how it sounds, what it makes you feel when you hear it. And then when you play, visualize the chord. So visualize this shape. You will remember this shape with your visual memory, and that will get things to work much better. So let's start with some chords. If you have your guitars, and if any questions come up, just write them in the comments or let me know, and we can switch how we're doing things. Hey, hi everyone. Ramzy, hey. Ramzy Khalaf is my my lifetime bandmate. Hey Anthony, how are you? And Ramzy is actually an amazing guitarist. He taught me a lot of what I know, just either directly or just by playing with him and seeing him play. He's an amazing guitarist. So check out his music, check out his stuff. Actually, Ramzy and I have an album that is on Spotify. It's called so the band is called Satellite Groove, and the music, the album is called Gone Astray. All right, so we're going to learn some chords. These chords are very useful because you can play a lot of different songs with them. So last time we've gone over them a little bit. We're going to go over them again this time, and we'll transition a little bit more, and we'll learn some new chords too. So this is a G major. I don't know if you can see this. Are you able to see this well? I'm going to try to bring it closer. So this is a G major. We're just going to press on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So the stop string here, we're just going to press on the 3rd fret with this finger. So when we're talking about fingers with the left hand, so if you're a righty, you want to use your right hand to strum and your left hand to play here. So first we're going to put this, so we're counting these fingers because the thumb is behind the guitar, so we're not counting that. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th finger. So we're going to use our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the top string, okay? So that's here. And again, remember last time we talked about, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's first place the finger. So this is the 3rd fret on the last string, and then 2nd fret here on the 5th string, and then 3rd fret on the 1st string here. So if you notice, everything in between, I'm not pressing on anything. This is empty. So I'm just playing those, I'm just strumming them as they are. So the only 3 strings I'm pressing on is the 6th string here, the 5th string here, and then the 1st string here. So 1, 2, and 3. If you want, take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot so you can have it, so you can look it up. And if not, it's called a G major chord. So if you Google G major chord, you'll see different people, playing it. There's different shapes. This is the easiest one. So if you want to start with something, start with this. It's also a good one to learn because if you then want to transition to different chords, so if I'm on a G and I want to do a C after, I just drop my fingers and it's such an easy transition. So that's why this is a shape instead of doing this or doing that. So start with this shape and then you can easily transition to a different chord. Hi, how are you? So let's try that. So this is a G major, right? So we're gonna do that. So once you've gotten down does the order of setting your fingers matter? No. So eventually what will happen is when you're playing, so let's say, I was headed down south to the land of the pine, tumbling my way into North Carolina. So what I'm doing here is I'm just transitioning directly to a chord. I'm not really doing like boom, 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 or boom, boom, boom. Like, you really want to put them at the same time. Of course, at first, it's going to be a little more difficult. You're going to like do this every time you transition, and that's fine. Eventually, it'll become natural, and you'll just kind of find... That's why I'm saying visualize the shape and don't just focus on where you're putting your fingers, because eventually you're just going to start transitioning easily. And then the order is what you're strumming with your right hand. So with your right hand, you can just either do this, or you can do this. So then it'll really depend on how you're strumming the strings. So this is the G chord. If you've got this down and you have a screenshot, let me know and we can transition to the next one. Important thing, so once you've gotten the chord down and you know where you're placing your fingers, like you know this is this fret, this fret, this fret. Now you got to break that exercise down and don't just like be like, okay, I got this down. Now try to play every string on its own and make sure that you're getting a clear sound in each of those. We have somebody trying to join the... You can get a guitar. Really, this is the best time to get a guitar. If you've been thinking about getting a guitar, do it now. Get a cheap one. It doesn't matter. Don't think about quality much. Just get one to practice, and then you can transition to something better. Somebody wants to join. Let's see if Bushra, if we can have her join.